Imagine if you were given the greatest opportunity of your life and you stood before a supreme sage who has discovered every mystery of existence. You have only one chance to ask a question whose answer would erase all your doubts and complete every quest. What would you ask? Perhaps the secret of success, or the path to happiness, or what happens after death. But is there any one question whose knowing would automatically silence all other questions? Thousands of years ago, this divine opportunity was granted to the great householder Shaunaka. Shaunaka was not an ordinary person. He was a great master, that is, the owner of a vast sacrificial hall, extremely wealthy, respected, and a profound knower of the scriptures. Yet within him was a thirst that could not be quenched by worldly achievements. He knew that there is a source of knowledge beyond all this. This inner quest led him to the feet of Maharshi Angiras, one of the greatest sages of that era. Shaunak, with utmost humility and folded hands, asked the question that is perhaps the deepest question in history. He said, Bhagavan, Kasmin Bhagavo Vijnate Sarvamidam Vijnatam Bhavati. That is, O Lord, what is that one thing knowing which the entire universe, whatever is knowable, becomes known by itself? This question is the heart of the Mundaka Upanishad. It is not only Shaunak's curiosity, but the inner call of every seeker who, after endless wandering, searches for that one truth in which the essence of the entire existence is hidden. The answer of Rishi Angiras is still as divine and revolutionary today. He said that there are two types of knowledge. One, that makes us successful in the world, gives us fame, and grants us prestige. And the other, that frees us from the bonds of birth and death. One knowledge changes the external world, and the other, knowledge that is, Apara Vidya, awakens the consciousness within us. Today, we too embark on that journey, as if becoming Shaunaka himself and sitting to listen to the profound secret of the Mundaka Upanishad from Maharishi Angiras. Unveiling the mystery, two types of knowledge. Hearing Shaunaka's question, the sage Angiras smiled slightly, because such a question itself is a proof of the disciple's capability. He began to answer, Dve Vidye Veditavye iti hasma yad brahmavido vadanti parachaiva paracha. That is, O Shaunaka, those who know Brahman say that there are two kinds of knowledge that a person must know. The lower knowledge, Apara Vidya, and the higher knowledge, Para Vidya. This answer changes the seeker's understanding. We generally consider knowledge as good or bad, useful or useless. But here, for the first time, knowledge is divided into two clear categories. One lower knowledge and the other higher knowledge. Apara Vidya, that is the knowledge which is not beyond. It is knowledge connected with the world. It is the knowledge of actions, language, scriptures, intellect, and material subjects. It is the knowledge by which a person plans, acts, gains reputation in society, yet the inner thirst remains unquenched. Paravidya, that is, the knowledge which is beyond. It is the knowledge that takes one beyond boundaries. It makes one realize the truth of the soul and transforms the practitioner's consciousness from within. This is the knowledge that loosens the bonds of birth and death. Sage Angiras, by describing these two types of knowledge, laid the first step on the practitioner's path. He indicated that before knowing the supreme truth, it is necessary to understand the category to which what you know belongs. Until this distinction becomes clear, the seeker wanders endlessly in the desert of lower knowledge, believing that they have found the ocean of truth. This very division is the first key that leads the seeker to the ultimate mystery. Now let us move forward and understand the knowledge with which we are all familiar, which the sage called Apara Vidya, the vast world of higher knowledge, which we all know. Rishi Angiras explains what Apara Vidya is. He says there, Apara Vidya consists of the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotisha. That is, O Shaunaka, Apara Vidya includes the four Vedas and the six Vedangas. The four Vedas are Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. The six Vedangas are Shiksha, phonetics, Kalpa, rituals, Vyakarana, grammar, Nirukta, etymology, Chanda, meter, and Jyotisha, astronomy. Hearing this, anyone might be surprised because the Vedas, which we consider the pinnacle of knowledge, are here called Apara Vidya by the Rishi. To understand this, one has to go deep. Sage Angiras is not insulting the Vedas but rather showing their limits. All four Vedas are vast texts that contain hymns to the gods, rituals of sacrifices, chants of mantras, and rules for worldly life. They tell us how to live in the world, which actions to perform, and what results are obtained from which actions. All this knowledge is important, but it is knowledge that organizes external life. The six Vedangas are sciences that help in understanding the Vedas. Shiksha, which means the correct pronunciation of mantras. Kalpa, which refers to the procedures of religious rituals. Vyakarana, the science of language structure. Nirukta, the meaning of difficult words. Chanda, the rhythm of the mantras. And Jyotisha, the knowledge of time determination and auspicious timings. Together, they clarify the language and methods of the Vedas and make a person skilled in the path of action. Now, see the vastness of this knowledge in a modern context. In today's time, Apara Vidya does not include only religious texts, but encompasses all worldly knowledge: science, mathematics, history, economics, medicine, engineering, art, sociology, literature, and everything that we study in schools and universities. This is the knowledge that sharpens the intellect and makes a person successful in the world, but it does not quench the thirst of the soul. So then, why is it called Apra, that is lower? The reason is profound. This entire knowledge is bound by the laws of action and cause. It explains which action will yield which result. This knowledge is based on the changing laws of the world, which keep changing every moment. It can give a person a better life, but it cannot free them from the bonds of birth and death. It can make the prison beautiful, but it does not show the way out. Apara Vidya is knowledge of subjects, that is, knowledge of objects, but it does not know the knower who is knowing all these objects. A person can study everything in the world, but this knowledge does not make him acquainted with himself. As long as the distinction between the subtle knower and the known object remains, duality persists, and where there is duality, there is fear, incompleteness, and the cycle of rebirth. That is why Shaunaka's fundamental question, that by knowing whom everything is known, is not fulfilled in lower knowledge. Lower knowledge is infinite, and the more you know, the more remains unknown. It is here that the sage Angiras points to that other knowledge, which breaks boundaries and leads the seeker directly to the truth. That is higher knowledge. The deep secret of higher knowledge, to know oneself. The sage Angiras reveals the supreme secret. He says, Ataparayaya tadaksharam adigamyate. That is now the supreme knowledge by which the imperishable principle is realized. This small verse encapsulates the essence of the entire universe. Here, two words are extremely important: para, meaning supreme, and akshara, meaning imperishable, which never gets destroyed. Paravidya is the knowledge through which this imperishable principle is directly experienced. It is not like reading, but like awakening oneself as the truth itself. Now the question arises, what kind of elemental letter is this? The Upanishad describes it in words beyond our intellect. That which cannot be seen, cannot be grasped, has no origin, no color, has neither eyes nor ears, neither hands nor feet. It is eternal, all-pervading, subtle and indestructible. It is the source of this entire creation, and the wise perceive it everywhere. This description confuses the intellect because we recognize every object by its qualities, and Brahman is beyond all qualities. then how can it be known? The Upanishads here give wonderful metaphors. The first metaphor is of the spider and its web. Just as the spider creates the web from itself and then draws it back in, similarly, the imperishable Brahman manifests the universe from itself, and at the time of dissolution draws everything back in. The second analogy is of the earth and medicines. Just as various plants grow from the earth and hair grows from a living person, just as diverse plants grow from the earth and hair arises from a living human, similarly, this countless diversity is born from the conscious Brahman. The earth is one, but the plants are many. In the same way, Brahman is one, but its manifestations are innumerable. The third and most important analogy is that of fire and sparks. Just as countless sparks arise from a blazing fire, similarly, many beings are born from the syllable Brahman and ultimately merge back into it. That is, O gentle one, just as countless sparks emerge from a blazing fire, many beings arise from the syllable Brahman and eventually return to it. A spark appears separate from the fire, but its essence is indeed fire itself. Similarly, we consider ourselves bound by the limits of body and mind, but our true nature is not a part of that Brahman. Rather, it is that very Brahman. Due to ignorance, we consider ourselves a small spark. Paravidya is the name given to the knowledge that removes this ignorance. It makes that spark realize that it is not separate from the fire. The moment this realization occurs, fear disappears, sorrow ends, and incompleteness is broken. This realization is Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, and this is the pinnacle of Apara Vidya. When this understanding begins to settle within the practitioner that their true nature is that very fire, a subtle transformation starts to appear in their life. An unspoken courage awakens inside, as if a forgotten lamp suddenly recognizes its own flame. The practitioner sees that fear remains, but it no longer touches them. Sorrow is still there, but it cannot wound the heart. Anger arises, but it rises like a wave and then calms down. This transformation does not happen outwardly, but by touching that point within where the mind and intellect come to rest, and only light remains. This is the moment when the practitioner recognizes the fragrance of their existence for the first time. And if within this flow of knowledge, a calm glimpse has awakened inside you, a moment has come when you felt a vibration deep within, then hold on to this experience right here. This is the first sign that the door to higher knowledge is beginning to open within you. To stabilize this experience, be sure to write a sentence in the comments below. I am recognizing the witness within myself. This sentence becomes a resolution that changes the direction of your consciousness. Coordination of knowledge, the story of two birds. But if the supreme knowledge, Paravidya, is the ultimate truth, does that mean the lower knowledge, Apara Vidya, that is the knowledge of the world, science, and our duties, become meaningless? Should the wise person leave everything behind and go into the forest? The Mundaka Upanishad answers this with a wonderful story. This story is about two birds sitting on the same tree. Dva Suparna sayujya sakhaya samanam vriksham parisvajate. Tayoranya pipalam svadvati anashnan anyo abhikakshiti. That is, two friendly birds are sitting on the same tree. One of them eats the sweet and sour fruits of the tree, while the other bird quietly watches. This metaphor is a mirror of our life. The tree represents the body or this world. The fruit signifies the pleasures and pains of actions. The bird that eats the fruit is the individual soul, which considers itself the doer and the enjoyer and gets entangled in experiences. The other bird is the witnessing soul, which observes but is not affected. We generally live like the first bird and get so entangled in the taste of experiences that we forget the witness within ourselves. The Upanishad says that when the fruit-eating bird gets tired of these experiences and lifting its head in sorrow, looks at the peaceful bird, its grief disappears. Within it arises the realization that I am not this sorrowful being. I am that peaceful, free, and luminous witness. The moment this recognition occurs, liberation begins. Duality gradually starts to end, and the seeker recognizes the inner stillness. This metaphor beautifully explains the relationship between higher and lower knowledge. Living in the world, performing actions, and fulfilling one's duties belong to the realm of lower knowledge. It should not be abandoned. Leaving the tree is not the solution. The solution is to remember, even while residing on the tree, that our true nature is that of the witnessing bird, the bird that neither eats the fruit nor suffers, but only observes. Apara Vidya teaches us how to live on the tree called the world. Paravidya shows us that we are not the tree, but the seer sitting on the tree. Both are necessary for a complete life. Without Apara the world becomes difficult, and without Paravidya, the ultimate goal of life, that is liberation, becomes impossible. So, what is the deepest secret of the Mundaka Upanishad? The secret is not that you have to know some new thing. The secret is that you have to know the knower. Shaunaka had asked, "What is that one thing by knowing which everything is known?" And the sage, Angiras' answer ultimately comes to this: know that self, which is the power that knows everything. When the seeker knows himself, recognizes his witnessing consciousness, then the entire universe is illuminated within him. Because this world, this knowledge, and all these experiences appear on the screen of that very consciousness. Knowing the screen is knowing the secret of the entire film. This journey is not outward, but inward. It is not a journey to become something, but a journey to recognize what you already are. You are not the wave that rises and disappears. You are the entire ocean. This knowledge is ancient, yet it remains equally alive in every area. When you remember the calm observer within you, while learning the knowledge of the world, the first gateway to supreme wisdom opens. Meditation and self reflection become your companions on this path. And the words of the Upanishads are true. Truth alone triumphs. In the end, only truth prevails, and that truth is yourself. If the knowledge of this Mundaka Upanishad has sparked a flame within you, then reflect upon it. Observe the balance of higher and lower knowledge in your life. And if you find this stream of knowledge auspicious, please like this video, share it with your loved ones, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon to receive notifications of new teachings. And if this discourse touches your heart, do write once in the comments below. Satyameva Jayate. Heartfelt thanks for your time and presence.